What is up? Welcome to the Existential Stoic podcast. Do you feel like a loser? Do you ever feel like, you just come up losses over and over again? Well, today you're in luck because we're going to talk about how to succeed. It's a quick fix. I'm Danny, here my buddy Randy. What's up, Randy?
Yo, Danny, this is a great topic. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Do you ever feel like you're struggling to succeed?
Oh my gosh, all the time. I feel like it's ever all that I ever do. Like I'm constantly just like struggling to keep my head above water. And there's this elusive success. It's like just a little bit further. It's like always right there.
Yeah, it is hard, isn't it? It's like I feel like it's the problem is like not like we all want to succeed, but like the definition of success is like just to keep going. Like, because
Mhm.
there's even when you do something, there's always something else. So it's like you feel like you're just constantly like, yeah,
Dude, and
treading
when
water.
and when you finally achieve something, you're like, I can't celebrate it now. I still gotta keep going. It's like,
I gotta go, gotta keep
yeah.
moving. Well, hopefully then these tips that we can share will help everybody so they can all succeed as well. I'm gonna start. My first one is own your growth. So you should define like what success means to you. Don't rely on others. I think this is actually like one of the things that probably affects most of us when we're young, which is, we like have an idea of success is like graduate school, do, whatever degree your parents say or whatever, get a house, get married, do all these things. But that might not even be the life you want, or that might not even be, you might not even be doing what you want to do. And I think this is like, you have to own your own life, and it's a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge one. If you're gonna play the game, you might as well define the rules. Like, and this
Yeah,
is
a
it's
little
not
bit.
only young people. I mean, this was me until I was like 35, where I was playing by
Yeah.
other people's rules, and then I was like, this game sucks. I want out.
This game's terrible. I don't like anything about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is true.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a great one. Uh, my first one for how to succeed is fail, because it's like, okay, so everybody wants success, nobody wants failure. But the thing is, you can't have success without failure. They're like two sides of the coin.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the more you fail, the more likely you are to succeed, strictly based on number theory. And there's a
Yeah.
saying, and because if it's a saying, it's got to be true, that the master
Always
has
is.
failed more times than the beginner has even tried. And so, like, it's something that nobody wants to do because failure sucks. It hurts. It's painful. Then you feel even worse than you did before you even tried. And so there's all these reasons to stop.
Yeah, it's what we talked about before too. It's so funny because like we're like taught from such a young age never to fail, that if you fail, you suck and you should never do that thing again, like ever.
Yeah.
Like, and it's really weird because it's like you try something once, you do bad at it, and you're like, oh, I must not be good at this. I can't do this. It's like, but if everything came that easy, nothing would be that worthwhile. And
Mhm.
like, it teaches you to keep turning away from things rather than like actually just pursuing something like wholeheartedly. I think it really does make it hard to like move up in the world and grow because you really are afraid of perpetually scared of this thing called failure, which really doesn't matter.
Dude, I think of it all the time with reading because in school they made us read these garbage books
Oh
and I
God,
was
yeah.
no good at it. Like I could care less about the Scarlet Letter and Canterbury Tales and everything like
Yeah.
that. Like I could literally care less about it. It wouldn't. I would try over and over and over again. And because of that, for a long time in my life, I thought that I didn't read. And it was crazy because my grandparents, they would always tell me, like, read, it's really important. And I would be like, nah, I tried it in school, didn't work. And it's
It
like,
wasn't good.
they're like, nobody told me that I was reading garbage books and I just need to find something that I liked.
I know we trashed the Scarlet Letter a lot, but I remember I've
Still
never even
haven't
read
even
it
read it.
actually.
Still haven't even read it.
No, I remember in high school though, this is just a side note. I remember my whole class, everybody just read the cliff notes, so we all only got like certain questions right on the quiz because
Awesome.
the cliff notes covered.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, "Did you all just read the cliff notes?" He's like, "Yep, I have no idea what happened in that book."
Dude, it was so bad that like one of the books we had to read, I didn't feel like reading it because I hated reading books in school. So we had to write a paper
Yeah.
for it. So I just found the first paper online and then me and another person turned in the same exact paper. So it's like,
See, you can fail and see. Yeah, it is funny. It's like such a God.
oh my God.
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay. So no, I agree with you on that definitely.
And
My
and
next
now we
one.
both read hundreds of books a year, which is pretty incredible, you know?
It
But
is
it's like
funny, isn't it?
who failed there? Was it us or was it the school system?
Well, that's just it though, because I think you gotta learn to, you just gotta keep trying. Like I wanted to read stuff, it's just not their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the problem. You gotta figure out what you like.
Yeah.
Uh, my next, I think we're on two, right? My second
Too.
one is focus on one step at a time. We talked about this, like Will Smith's book when his biography or autobiography, I guess it was. He talks about the brick wall that his dad like made them build like one brick at a time. And I think there is truth in that, which and if you read anything like philosophy, they talk about this all the time. Like it's just, you can't complete a journey unless you take one step and then another step. Like you just the only way to get done a 10,000-mile journey is one step at a time. The only way to build a wall is one brick at a time. You can't we all want to like we all want to fast forward through the stuff we don't want to do, but the reality is you can't. And the only way to get there is one piece at a time. And if you just accept that, it's a lot easier to succeed because you realize the work that needs to be done.
Yeah. And it's a crazy mind trip because when you're laying brick after brick after brick, it feels like you're doing nothing. And then all of a sudden
Yeah.
you look back and you're like, whoa, look at that thing that I did. Where'd that come
Yeah.
from? But it's like a crazy mind trip.
Well, that's what screwed me up for so long, I think, in like pursuing things that I wanted or like feeling like successful. It was just like thinking that I could get there somehow quicker instead of looking at the reality of the situation and the journey and realizing that you are growing. It's just in reality it takes longer than we think it does because we're always told these stories of fast growth and overnight success and BS, and the reality is like that's not how life is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So my second one for how to succeed is never give up. Never, ever, ever. And I
Yeah.
think this is like a tricky one because all of us have given up in certain areas. And it's also okay to give up. Like if
Oh
something's
yeah.
not for
Yeah,
you, it's also
totally.
okay to give up. But if it's something that really means something to you, then it's totally cool that you've already given up already. You're still breathing, so you still get a chance to get back on the horse. And that's the cool thing is that like if it actually matters, you still have a chance. So just don't give up.
Actually, what's good? I like about that too, what you said is that, I notice myself like certain things, like if I keep coming back to them too, even though like I might have tried and given up and tried and give up, I realize like I need to do this because it's something that I keep coming back to. Like it's a good way to like notice something that you really should be doing, even though you're not doing it. And we give up for so many like really ridiculous reasons. Like a lot of times, like I don't have time to do that for real. When in fact you do, you just don't want to, you're not ready to commit to it yet. It might not be the right time, whatever. But yeah, it is. It is hard because you have to also give up the stuff that's not for you. And trying to find that can be tricky because you don't want to just give up everything, but at the same time, like some things just aren't worth it.
Well, yeah, we all have like a limited amount of time. We have a limited amount of attention, brain power, whatever it is. And for a long time, like I beat myself up because I gave up playing soccer. I beat myself up because gave up playing guitar. And after a while, I was like, but you know what? Now I get to focus my energies on things that actually fulfill me. Like, yeah, those would be cool, but I wasn't getting as much of a reward from them as I would have liked. But this stuff that I'm doing now that I can focus on because I gave up with those, much more important.
I think that's a trick too. You learn as you get older too, and as you do it more and more, what really does matter, and then you can focus. And you're right though. If you don't give up on what matters to you, you will succeed. That's all it
Mm-hmm.
is. I mean, it's all there really is to it.
You
It's
do
just
it
keeping
until
at it.
that's it.
Yeah, till there's success. My last one, I think, is pretty self-explanatory, but take action. Don't just sit there, do something. I think this is something I struggled with personally. I'm sure a lot of people have, right? Where there's something you want to do, it's in the back of your mind, it's like an itch you can't get rid of, but you just never stand up and start, right? And I think at some point you just have to. And once you do, the ball just starts rolling. It's easier and easier with time. So I think but it's always a hard one. Starting has always been difficult for me. So I think start
Mhm.
taking actions crucial. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like every success is always intentional. So like it's the people who take action
Yeah.
who get there. Every once in a while. I mean, it's like the anecdotal one who like fell into success that everybody's like, "Oh, but you see, they fell into it, so that's why I can't do it because they were just lucky." And it's like, yes, they were
I
one
want to be
in
lucky.
they were 1 in 8 billion people. They were lucky, but
Yeah.
guess what? Everybody else worked for it. Yeah, that's good. My last one is learn. So this is two ways. One, learn, just always keep learning. That'll help you be successful. But
Yeah.
also, my first thing was fail, make mistakes. You have to learn from your mistakes, or else you're just going to keep doing them over and over and over again. And then you're never going to find your way to success. So you got to learn from your mistakes.
No, that is a good one. And you know what's funny? Like mistakes are also the stuff you learn that sticks with you forever. Like I noticed that myself. Like
Yeah, when
really,
you
it is.
mess up, you never forget it.
Yeah. No, but it's true though. Every time you make a mistake, you may have a problem or something, like you don't forget it. And it's like something that just like sticks with you. You know, even when it's like, I don't know. I think it's just it is. It's a great way to learn. It's the most effective. And then you don't have that problem again. So you know how to deal with it in the future. So it's not an issue. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just one
So
more
there
thing,
you
because
oh,
wait,
go
before you
ahead.
close
Yeah.
out. So like we were talking in the beginning how success always seems like something out there and how
Yeah.
that it keeps us on this like hedonic treadmill of pursuing success. I was thinking one thing that is important with that, and I don't do this very often, but actually celebrating when you achieve something. Because then
Yeah.
it rewards you for what you've been pursuing for so long. Because I get into this all the time where I'll have a goal and I've been working for this goal for months or for years. I get it, and then I'm like, that's not good enough. I need to do the next thing, and I just like
Move on.
blaze on right
Yeah.
past it. But it's like it doesn't like celebrate all the work and effort that I put into it.
Yeah, you know a good trick for that I've been trying to do myself. It is hard because you just want to move on to the next thing. Is when you do finish something, like give yourself either like an afternoon or a day just to do what you want to do, like a little
Ooh,
celebration.
that's
It's
pretty
a good way
cool.
to do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go do something outside, go do something else, but just like take a break from working for a day. It does help.
Mm,
Yeah,
that
but
is
you have
really
to learn how
cool.
to do that. It is very hard to do though. I know what you mean because you just
Yeah.
keep moving. There's
Oh
always
yeah.
something else though. It's life, you know?
Always.
Yeah. So hopefully that's it. That's how to succeed. Hopefully that's helpful and everybody can start succeeding now and at least, maybe take these tips and work with them. We'll be back later this week with a full length episode. Check us out on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Please subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Share it with your friends. It's a great way for, to get anything out there, right? But until later, Andy.
Later, Danny.